Well, it's another hot day. I think it's going to hit nearly 90. I'm down at the packing bench, having returned from town. And of course, the girls are out in the kayaks. Brandy came over to kayak with her sister. It's always good to be able to facilitate that type of activity. They don't get to see each other much. Rose has my grandson out in the double kayak. He was doing a little fishing earlier today. I think he used the rowboat while we were in town. Brandy and Tanya out in the yellow single over there. Echo and Grandma in the double, in the silver. Enjoying the day. I guess he had the rowboat out earlier, so that's good. He's trying to do a little fishing from what I understand. Echo keeps a pole here along with some basic tackle. Now while we were in town, I went ahead and stopped by my free book source, picked up a few. This one is The Mystery of the Maya. Memories of the Old Home Place on Prince Edward Island. Some local history. Craft books, like here's one on Singer. That's always a good topic. A couple on fabric flowers. Yeah, that'll make a nice lot, I think. Here's a pair. Women's devotional topics. Same author. Natural bundle. And speaking of bundles, here's a group of 3 on making gingerbreads. So that'll go up on towards Christmas. Now here are a couple more of the free books. This one, White Tribe. Over here, Redemption in Indigo. Now you can see this is an ex-library book. And if it's a short run, it does have a barcode, but if it's a short run, I will still check its value and probably list it as a single. Same way with this one. It's listed as Politics and History, but it has a price in pounds. So it makes me wonder if this was an English publication. But we'll find out as we're listing. Because the buy-in cost is 0, all I've got to worry about is how big to make the bundles and how much to charge for shipping. Because this week I'm still suffering under those changes from 12 July. But I've had a couple sales. Even though it's hot today, I want to get those sales packed because pretty soon I'll have to turn my attention back to that blue trailer, which has the remaining lots from that Bremerton 1928 house clear out. Yeah, see what's left in there, get the ephemera out, decide what to do with the IKEA cabinets. I did put up a local listing for those Amazon and Metro style pantry racks. Just put that up yesterday, so we'll see whether I get some interest. There really is a price and value perception difference between the 2 racks that came from Amazon and the one that has the Metro branding. Of course, the Metro brand has a lot more accessories like baskets and some hooks. But even so, they're similar in construction, but quality does tell. People will pay a lot more from something coming from a company like Metro with a name brand than an Amazon basic labeled product, even though they do the same task. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera around, clear the books off the bench, and we'll pull the items to pack. We'll see if there's anything in particular of interest. Here's my home page for an account that has some solds. Looks like they've once again changed the format a little bit. They're using the space to push their new price guide. And a black dot that says there are 2 in this account. And there they are. Fish and Marine Life Guides from Australia by Steve Parrish. I put these up as a 2-book lot, $11.79 plus some shipping. They went up as $6.79 media. Let's see how they actually go out. Now, why do I sell low-value books that I pick up for free? I look for the unusual ones, and sometimes they can make me a profit. Here are the 2 that sold today. Australian Field Guides for Fish and Marine Life. I put them up as a lot together. Now, they're not going to weigh much, so this is very likely a candidate, or at least it used to be, for upgrading to Ground Advantage. But we'll see how the weight and destination plays out under the new rules. The first thing I did is put the 2 field guides into a clear poly bag so that they would be protected, present a little bit better. Put them on the scale with a bubble mailer. Comes out at about 6 ounces. Let's check the rates on the computer. I put in the 8 ounces, put in the size of the bubble mailer. $4.39 media, $6.07 ground. That's still quite a bit of difference when I listed them as media originally. And these are going to Glendale. These are going to the eBay International Warehouse. So I'm only responsible to get it there. I think I'll print a media label. Now the next item, interesting, $9.79 plus shipping, $7.79 Ground Advantage shipping. This is a combination sharpening stone. And if you don't sell sharpening stones, this one happens to be a new, fairly modern one. In fact, Gordon is a Harbor Freight brand. When Harbor Freight decided it could sell things better in flashy colored packages with names that sounded like, they were mainstream, this one came in from some group of tools, I don't even recall where, but I especially like to sell the older sharpening systems, those that actually have vintage sources, those that have mechanical parts, entire kits, but sharpening stones are something I've always sold. $7.79 Ground Advantage. And here it is, I bagged it. One of the challenges with these is that it's not so much that they're brittle, but if they were to take a hard impact in the center, they might break in half. And here you can see that it is a Harbor Freight brand. Because it's just about exactly 6 inches long, I'll grab one of my 8 by 6 by 4 boxes, and then we'll simply score it down before I fold it to a shorter height. We'll make sure we pat it well all the way around it. That'll float in the center of a box that's 2 inches longer and a couple inches wider than it needs to be, and we'll check the weight. For their size, they're a little bit heavy. Let's see if it tips over a pound. There's the box uncut. There's the stone. That'll be 2 pounds. We rolled the sharpening stone into some bubble. We rolled the surplus up on the sides to make a couple of end bumpers to fill in the void. Put in some crumple first. If need be, we'll put in a little more crumple. But basically, this is the way it's going to go. Let's see if it's going to a place that a 3-pound label would actually be cheaper. And there it is, ready for the label. Yep, still didn't even come anywhere near 2.1 to get that 3-pound. Let's see if it matters on the computer screen. All right, it's headed to Georgia. We've put it in at 2 pounds 4 ounces, and that price comes up at $8.05. Let's strip the 4 ounces. Do it again. $10.43. So you can see that obviously Canton, Georgia is rural. And that means, if I check this, that means it's costing me $2.50 more to send this old listing than it used to. Yeah, what a shame. This whole situation where 1 and 2 pound packages keep costing me more than I originally listed them, eventually, if this runs on, we're going to have to take action and do something about it. Seriously considering calculated shipping, raising our prices for shipping itself. We just haven't been hearing anything from the post office or from eBay about whether this is going to continue. It's fantastic when we get a discounted coupon for 3 to 5 pounds, but I'm shipping more in the area of 1 to 2 pounds these days. So these are hurting me. Now it is old stock, and often old stock we would normally discount anyway in order to shift it out, maybe give them a 10%, a 15%, send offers to buyers, run a sale. It's not that different, taking a little less for the shipping and losing in the overall profit. But still, it's a concerning trend this summer. And if it persists on into the fall and the next postal change, we're going to have to reevaluate this whole thing. What have you been doing after the 12 July changes? I keep seeing it on the screen. I keep seeing it in the packages. I keep seeing it affect my day-to-day operations. Maybe I'll have to ask the monkey what he thinks. He's just hanging around out here anyway, kind of smirking at me that I haven't solved this problem from my end. But then should I really have to solve it from my end? What do you think? I think I'll go see what the girls are up to if they're done kayaking and get something cold to drink.
Off and running.
Your son gave up on rowing pretty quickly. He came back in, I pulled it up on the shore. He didn't say much. Bye, ladies. Well, yeah, kids of that age have a short attention span. So you got an Amazon package, but it's not yours, is it? It belongs to the neighbor. It was left out front.
Yes.
I don't like it when they leave packages out in front of the garage because it's too easy for them to go missing. But in this case, it's not even our package. Your mama noticed that it actually belongs a couple of doors down. Should we go deliver it?
Sure.
Should we give them their package?
Yeah.
Are you curious about what's in it?
Not really.
Not really. Yeah. Yeah. Are you curious about what's in it?
No.
See, Tanya thinks that it's illegal to open other people's packages, but it is rude.
Not illegal.
But it's not U.S. mail. See, Amazon doesn't have the same protection as the U.S. Postal Service. Let's go this way, Echo. Another satisfied customer getting their Amazon package, huh?
Yeah.
He said his wife expected 2 last night, went out and there was 1. So yeah, Amazon's only batting 50-50. You gonna go out on the lake with Grandma and your mama?
Think so.
All right, I'm gonna go down and pack my eBay solds.
He's gonna take your rowboat.
Oh, all right. Do you want actual oars or you just want the short paddles?
There's oar locks and oars. You want Grandpa to set you up? So much easier, yeah. The oar lock.
Okay, I'll go get the oars. But this is where they left the package. Interesting place. Yeah, I've got the door propped open a little bit so I can open it from the outside because Echo and I used the scooter, the electric scooter, the Tuk-Tuk, in order to deliver something down around the neighborhood, around the side of the lake for Rosie, and I haven't put it away yet. This one has a key, but I don't carry the key on me to open that lock. Me, keys, and locks, we don't always see eye to eye. But since the road is right there, this is not the best place to put an Amazon package, even if it was the wrong one. Among the listings I'll be packing today, the solds. 2 of these saw clamps. Guy bought a quantity of 2. These are Craftsman made in England. They're saw buddies. They hold the plywood together as you make a kerf cut in the plywood. Works like an extra set of hands. Looks like I'm down to my last box. There are 3 left in here. When I get down to the bottom of a multi-quantity listing that was this big, I want to check for accuracy and see that my count is still correct. We'll compare the listing when I'm packing to 3 remaining after this sale. Well, another sweltering day, but I'm down in the packing bench. Time to pack the solds. Echo and I have been out running a couple errands. We drove the Tuk-Tuk around the lake to drop off something to one of the card sharks that was left here at the last game day. And we had a stray Amazon package that actually belonged to a neighbor. So Echo and I took care of that. Walked through the fences rather than around. A little shorter on a hot day. Well, the neighbor's begun bringing down the fence. New boards are arriving a day or so. So they're prepping for a new divider fence. The deer won't know what to do since they've been going through the hole in the old one for some time. Maybe we'll have to prop that gate open. But Echo and I just used that route to deliver the Amazon package 2 doors down. Rose had them set aside a few of the old fence boards. I think they're probably cedar, but she says she has a project for them. I kept a few as well because I've got a different project in mind. Yeah, here's the rest of the fence that hasn't come down yet. It's been failing for a while, but I'm not really big into fences. But I mentioned I sold some saw buddies. Yeah, I'll show you these. These are made in England. A guy ordered 2, so that's good. I don't think they'll push into the 3-pound inversion range for the label. But the other items, here's a patch. It's a union patch for bus drivers. That will probably go out in an eBay standard envelope. Here's a lot of 3 packs of beads and earring kits to make earrings. So we'll probably, here's the other set here, feathers, dream weavers, that type of thing. Rose grouped those up to make sure they had enough value, and they have sold. And then lastly, from one of the car magazine and car smalls lots that I bought, this is Ford Motor Company Stationery, unused vintage. So we'll get those out. 2 of these will be too thick for an eBay standard, but this one, normally I put my patches up to use the eBay standard envelope. Here are the necklace kits. There's the lot. There's some cardboard to wrap them in. The padded envelope, 2.4, so that's a 4-ounce pack. It's actually headed to Tennessee, so let's see if that's a rural zip or not. $8.40 for 4 ounces. Let's see what 15 ounces would be. $8.40. So it looks like Clifton, Tennessee is a rural zip, and I'm actually losing money on that shipping. About 90 cents plus fees because of this whole elimination to rural zip codes. Yeah, I am not liking this. For the Ford motor cards, we wrapped them in cardboard, pinched the ends rather than using the corrugated. And we'll slide that into a bubble mailer. Weight 4.2 before I close it up and put on a label. So that'll be an 8-ounce label or 15.99 depending on its zip code. Heavier package, 8 ounces, going to a city this time, San Jose, California. Price, cheaper, $5.89. Yeah, it's the inconsistency and the unable to plan that has me really frustrated with this 4 and 8 ounce tier situation. But the question, I guess the overall question is, how often am I losing my money for the flat rate option compared to, say, the calculated? How often is the shipping label being overpriced with flat rate shipping to get it to a rural destination? How big a percentage are my rural versus urban packages? If it's going to San Jose, California, it's cheaper. If it's going to a rural zip, it's more expensive for a lighter package. I really hope that eBay and all the other e-commerce platforms are sending some unhappy feedback to the USPS so that they're encouraged to change this situation. You enjoy your day and your week. The girls and Echo are out on the lake. Echo's using my rowboat. It's good that it's getting put to use. You have a Starbucks?
I have a Starbucks right around the corner.
Yeah, your mom likes the foo-foo ones.
Well, you're not going to go to Starbucks and order a black coffee, that's for sure.
I do. Yeah, because, well, if mom stops to get one for herself and she says, do you want something? I'll say, get me a black coffee. But yeah, the Facebook lady coming for the garden tools, yeah, mom just tucks those bills away for outings.